Everyone. It's me, Pastor Kathy. Some of you just know me as Kathy, and that's fine too. I'm an associate pastor here at Arapahoe United Methodist Church, which is in Richardson, Texas, at the corner of Arapahoe and Coit. And I have been leading one of our classes on Sunday mornings that it just started this Sunday on a review of the pre-birth scriptures in the Gospel of Luke, pre-birth to the birth of Jesus. And we started with the first Advent Sunday. Now, Advent is a time of waiting that precedes Christmas Eve, and it is themed each week. You may have seen an Advent wreath at times where there are 4 candles. 3 of them are often purple, 1 is pink, and then a white or other colored candle in the middle representing Christ. Those 4 candles on the outside have 4 themes, the first being hope, the second being peace, the third being joy, and the fourth, the pink one, being love. We light each of those candles during the worship service, but also during the time prior to the when we celebrate the birth of Christ. We have some Bible study that we read, that we try to understand, ask questions about. I have chosen this year to read from the Gospel of Luke. Now, here's what's going to happen. I'll read the introduction today. We'll start talking. I'm going to post this on social media, both my personal and the church media, through the Arapahoe online community. And I invite you to ask questions each time you see one of these posted. We'll do during Advent at least 1 a week, sometimes 2. And start some discussion going there. Ask questions that I can answer the next time through either Instagram or on Facebook, however you want to add them, or you can send me an email. My email is Kathy with a C, that's CATHY, at arapahoeumc.org. I'll be reviewing this, and I want to start today with a reading of the first 4 verses. I'm reading particularly from one translation of the Bible, the Common English Bible. I find that it's it uses less high church words, some that are, it's a little more understandable, written in ways that are common English. And so I hope you enjoy this. Let me read for you the first 4 verses of Luke chapter 1. This states the purpose and the introduction more of Luke. Many people have already applied themselves to the task of compiling an account of the events that have fulfilled among us. They used what the original eyewitnesses and servants of the word handed down to us. Now, after having investigated everything carefully from the beginning, I have also decided to write a carefully ordered account for you, most honorable Theophilus. I want you to have confidence in the soundness of the instruction you have received. So there's a few things here. What did you hear in this? Go ahead and put that in the comments. And what did you hear about what the writer of Luke is intending to do with this gospel? What I heard, and what is often referred to, is this phrase, orderly account, and to Theophilus. So the orderly account has to do with the fact that Theophilus, who was probably back in Rome or somewhere in the Greek area, is not known but assumed to be some kind of someone of an authority figure in some way. Some have speculated that maybe he was a sponsor of Luke, who is often referred to as a physician. You would need some kind of sponsor, economic sponsor, or someone who sends with a letter, as Luke would go, or anyone would go, to another region. Now, the timing of this is most likely written after the second destruction of the temple. The temple being in Jerusalem. And the second destruction was around 70 CE. That's Common Era. You may know of that as 70 AD, Ante Dominum. So when we're talking about this, it's in the early 1st century, maybe written around 85, 95 CE. But the fact is that this isn't what he writes, is that he wants to give Theophilus an orderly account. Now, it's important to see that that he references that many other people have done this. Many other people have already applied themselves to the task of compiling this account of what this gospel story, what the heck is going on. And I can almost imagine that there's lots of rumors, speculation, almost like those grapevine stories that you used to use with the, maybe you didn't, but I did, with the cans and a string in between, or you tell a story and see if it can come back the same around a circle by whispering and see how it changes. Luke doesn't want that. He doesn't want Theophilus to rely on rumors and speculation. He wants Theophilus to have an ordered account based on research and investigation. So what Luke has done, I imagine, has taken all of these stories or different letters, different writings, different folklore even, and has tried to sift through them to put together an orderly account, one in which Theophilus can be confident has been well researched. As far as where Luke is, again, speculation. We don't know exactly where they are, but we know that Luke is connected to Paul, to the Apostle Paul in Acts. And Paul is around the Damascus and the Aegean Sea and setting up different churches. So if Luke was with him, we can assume that he's writing this somewhere along the Aegean Sea or in the Greek provinces. And that's important because he is writing Greek and he is sending it back to presumably Rome to Theophilus. So it's individuals who were not necessarily raised in the Hebrew faith, raised in the Jewish faith. He's reading to a Greek audience, which would be he's writing to a Greek audience, which would be a Gentile audience. The final thing that's very, very apparent here is that what was written before was using what the original eyewitnesses and servants of the word handed down to us. What does that tell us? That tells us that the writer of Luke was not an original eyewitness to what happened in the gospel story. Remember, as we're going through this, and I'll conclude with this, that any reading of the Bible has really 3 time frames to consider for perspectives. One is the time frame of when the story itself happened. So if we are talking about when Christ was born, it's probably sometime around 3-4 CE, sometime around that time. So when did the story take place? The second is, when was the book or letter or document written? In this case, speculation is sometime just after the second destruction of the temple, which again was in 70 CE. And the third perspective of time that's coming into this is our time. What are we trying to read into this versus what does it really say? And we look back to the context of when it was written and when the story took place, but we also apply it to our personal time frame right now and our experiences. So I want you to remember all of that as we move forward and start our study of Luke, which we will do tomorrow. I will start with John the Baptist's birth foretold as our first Advent story and our first Advent study. Share with me now in the comments, if you will, whether this is something that's interesting to you, or send me an email, as I said, Kathy@arapahoeumc.org. I look forward to studying the Gospel of Luke with you.